A few years ago, SEO on Etsy was a piece of cake. All you had to do was fill your Etsy tags and titles with the keywords that you wanted to be known for, and voila, you would appear on page 1 of an Etsy search. But as more sellers began jumping on the platform, Etsy had to evolve, and now you have to do a bit more research. Research that takes time, research that takes energy, and research that can literally drive you crazy if you don't know what you're doing. As an ex-preschool teacher, helping Etsy sellers in a way that is as fun and as easy as preschool is my bread and butter. So if you're a total newbie at SEO, be sure to watch last week's video where I break down exactly what SEO is and how to do keyword research. Because in today's video, I'm going to be talking about some of the top contributing factors to your search ranking on Etsy, or basically the page and position that your specific listings will land on in an Etsy search. For example, if someone searched Valentine's Day gifts for women on Etsy, you would want your listing as close to page 1 as possible, right? And not all the way back on page 80. Unfortunately, gone are the days when we knew exactly what page our listings would appear on in search. At one point, if I wanted to know what my search ranking was on Etsy, I would just type in one of the keywords that I used in my listing title and see what page it landed on Etsy. Today though, Etsy's algorithm, or their top secret math problem that Etsy uses to organize their listings, has changed dramatically, and there are quite a few factors that play into what page your listings will land on. Factor number 1, relevancy. If someone is searching for baby shower gifts on Etsy, the last thing that they want to find is men's underwear and antique cigar boxes. This is where relevancy comes in. Basically, your relevancy is a gauge of how closely your listing tags, titles, and attributes, or the product details, match a search query that someone types into the Etsy search bar. The more relevant the terms that you use, the more likely that it is that you will be placed higher in search. You can find a link down below if keyword research in particular confuses you. Moving on, factor number 2, listing quality score. This is a special score or rating that Etsy gives to each listing based on how users interact with that listing once they click on it. For example, if you sell what appears to be a big bag of marbles based on your thumbnail, and someone clicks on that listing only to find that you're actually only selling one marble, they might feel misled and click off of that listing, not making a purchase. This is an example of how your quality score might be negatively affected. The shopper clicked, then immediately clicked back off of the page, telling Etsy that what you're selling wasn't super interesting to the buyer, and therefore it might not be interesting to other buyers. However, if you sell beautiful bridal bouquets and you have an amazing thumbnail and great photos and a perfect product description and possibly even a fantastic price point and great policies, that customer might end up favoriting that item or even eventually making a purchase. These are things that may positively influence your quality score, telling Etsy that other shoppers might also be interested in this item as well. Factor number 3, recency. This one is super important because for a brand new listing, it's going to be impossible for Etsy to give you a quality score, right? If you just listed the item, there's very little chance that anyone has had time to click on it or interact with that specific listing. So instead, Etsy actually gives those new listings a little boost in search. This will allow Etsy to see how shoppers interact with that new listing over the span of a few hours to a few days. After those first few hours or days of shopper interactions, Etsy begins applying the listing quality score based on these interactions to determine your new placement in search. Factor number 4, customer and market experience score. Ah yes, another Etsy score that they tell us all about, but they never actually show us. This score was developed to make sure that shops that have a great reputation actually get ranked higher in search, which is totally understandable. Etsy wants to make sure that they're not promoting shops that have terrible customer service or awful reviews, which is exactly why things like getting great reviews, having a complete shop policy section, and filling out your about section are so important. These things positively affect that score and show Etsy that you're a trustworthy shop, while things like bad reviews, cases against your shop, and copyright infringement can hurt your overall search ranking. Factor number 5, your shipping price. Please don't thumbs down this video. I'm not in support of the following statements. I'm just telling you the facts. In March of 2018, Etsy surveyed shoppers, and those shoppers said that they are 50% less likely to make a purchase if they thought that the shipping price was too high. In July of 2019, Etsy made the decision to give products that ship free an extra boost in their ranking. But definitely don't lose your noodles over this one. I know that there's no such thing as free shipping. Someone is paying for it, whether it's the customer or if it's you as the seller. So if you can offer free shipping, go ahead and try it. And if you can't, don't sweat it. Just make sure that you're not inflating that shipping price number in order to make an extra buck. Factor number 6, translations and language. Whatever language that you chose when you set up your Etsy account is the language that you should be using for all of your listing tags and titles. Though Etsy translates these tags and titles for you, even Etsy admits that their translator isn't the best. So if you speak multiple languages, or if you're trying to cater to shoppers who speak multiple languages, it may be beneficial for you to do your very own translations within your tags and titles. Etsy even says themselves that these tags tend to be higher quality and may outperform their machine translations in search. Factor number 7, shoppers' habits. Here's the big one, the one that changed everything a few years ago and created mass pandemonium. Along with factors 1 through 6, Etsy also customizes each search per buyer. You know how whenever you search for a brand on Google, you magically start seeing ads for that specific brand everywhere? Yeah, that's no coincidence. It's called machine learning, and it's how advertisers target shoppers based on interests that they've noticed through past searches and different activity. It's also why if I were to type in Valentine's Day gifts on Etsy, and you were to type in Valentine's Day gifts on Etsy, the things that I see might be completely different from the things that you see. Because the items that Etsy is showing me are based on things that they think I would personally like. And the things that they're showing you are based on the things that they think you would personally like. Now, with these 7 factors in mind, you may be wondering, how the heck do I know which of my listings are doing well and which of my listings are doing bad? There are 2 methods to do this. Method number 1, head into your Etsy stats and look at the listings in your shop that are bringing in the most traffic versus the ones that aren't bringing in much traffic at all. If you notice that some of your listings aren't bringing in a lot of traffic, it may be time to work on your SEO for those specific listings. Method number 2, using erank.com, you can head into their handy dandy rank checker tool to see what page your listing would land on if the shopper had no past search history on Etsy. If you see that some of your listings would naturally display on page 1, it means that your SEO is probably pretty good. And for the listings that show up way back on the search pages, you may want to start working on your SEO for those specific listings. Now, if you're one of the many sellers that struggles with marketing, I've linked my free 12-month marketing calendar PDF down below so that you can snag it instantly. With these calendars, you can identify key shopping dates that will help you to plan better keywords around the holidays, events, and more over the next 12 months. So be sure to grab those down below and start planning ahead. This video is just one of many in a huge SEO series that I'm currently working on. So if you enjoyed it, be sure to give this video a thumbs up, subscribe to my channel if you haven't already so that you don't miss future videos, and click the little bell icon so that you get a notification when new videos are available. Oh, and be sure to also leave a comment down below and let me know what SEO topics you want to learn about next so I can add them to my recording schedule for 2020. Overall, SEO is a challenge for most Etsy sellers, but with enough time, enough practice, and enough research, any seller can master it. Until next time, alphas, keep your coffee strong and your mindset stronger. New slogan 2020. I hear my kid upstairs. She's like stomping around like a small elephant or a giraffe learning how to walk. This is mom. This is being a mom. Being a mom.